Hi there, welcome to my Module 9 assignment, Content Marketing Strategies. So for this assignment, we had to choose a boring brand, and I decided to choose taxes. I think everyone is aware that there is a tax season. April 15th is that big day. Tax in general, and by definition, is kind of lengthy, wordy, and let's face it, it's boring. Not a lot of people get excited by taxes. I think even around that time during tax season, people just dread doing their taxes. And once it's over, people just can't wait to get their money. Or in other instances, it might be that you owe the government money. So by definition and in conclusion, taxes in general is boring. And there are some companies out there such as H&R Block and TurboTax that during that time season, release a bunch of commercials and, try to make it a little bit, more relevant out there. But what I notice is that, as as a brand, you really need to stay active all year round. And I did pick some strategies, 6 content marketing strategies to kind of help this specific brand out. And I did notice that throughout my research, some of these companies, such as H&R Block, Liberty Tax Service, and TurboTax, did follow through with some of the strategies that I had specifically come up with. So we'll go ahead and review that. So first things first, I checked out each of these companies' Facebook pages, got to know a little bit about them in their about section, and they all had pretty solid goals and missions. I think it's very important to have a goal set in mind, just because it gives you something to work towards, and it kind of gives you an idea of what you want to share out there with your audience. So each one, their mission or their goal was really to make it fun, to make it less crazy and less, hectic. They wanted to educate and help people during taxes and in their everyday lives. So it not only strictly sets out to help people during tax season, but also all year round. So that's definitely a content strategy to have in mind. Second is to go beyond text. So a lot of tax companies, have lengthy blog posts or, just long, wordy and lengthy, as you can see by definition, information. And I think some of these companies really, went above and beyond to actually share videos, to share Pinterest, their Pinterest boards, to share Instagram photos. So they are trying to keep it kind of less formal and stuffy, by also sharing other forms of content. And I think it's a great idea, just because if I were following, for instance, let's say H&R Block, and all they posted was blog posts, I would kind of get a little bit bored from that. So I think that the ability to share other things than just blogs is also informative. I'd like to see pictures and infographics, and I think it definitely helps a lot as well, and keeps it fresh. So that helps. Third is to reach out to your community. So I think this strategy is important because, like you said in your video and in the readings, you kind of need to get ideas from your audience as well. You need to get your audience communicating and engaging with you. So I saw that H&R Block and TurboTax each had sent out some tweets with, their audience in mind. And I didn't see this very often, which I was a little bit surprised about. But given that it's the summer, and people really don't have taxes on their mind. I think during tax season this will probably become a little bit more active with these both companies asking people, hey, do you have any questions, tweet us back. But I think for now, it was a little slow with the engaging and reaching out to their community, but they did, and they tried to get their audience, kind of talking. And H&R Block did a true or false, and TurboTax played on with the take your dog to work day, and kind of hinted as wouldn't it be great to have your dog as a dependent. So I think this one's definitely important, because by talking to your community and engaging with them and getting them to ask questions or to give a comment, it gives a brand or a company, an idea of what to talk about at a later time. So it definitely helps out to get some feedback from your community. Also, mobilizing your entire company. Um, don't be afraid to use other people from other departments. And I didn't see this very often with some of these companies, but I did notice that H&R Block posted a video of one of their employees and how he got started at H&R Block. I also noticed that they do tend to share a lot of videos that are bilingual. So, trying to teach a group of people, a minority, about taxes. They might have just arrived to this country, or they have been here for a couple of years, and just to give people, their audience, the ability to learn more about taxes in another language. I think it's great. It's they're not strictly keeping it to English speaking citizens. They want to educate, and I think this is definitely a great way to do that. Timed approach. I think this is definitely one of the biggest strategies to keep in mind. For taxes, when you think of taxes, you think of April 15th and the month, coming up to that. So February, March, you would think that this is when these companies are the most active, or maybe the only time that they're active. But what I liked from TurboTax and H&R Block is that they used the season of summer, or they used events that were going on around this time to really get their audience informed and get them talking. So, for example, TurboTax used the World Cup games, and this tweet right here: catching the U.S. versus Ghana game today. Tax fact: FIFA enjoys a special tax exemption in whatever country hosts the World Cup. I think this is awesome. I didn't know that, but they really jumped on that and and inform their audience, and I think that's awesome. They really used this to their advantage to inform people, to educate people, and I think they're active during this time, and I think it's important because they need to stay relevant. They need to stay in people's mind. And H&R Block, on the other hand, used garage sales, and we know that during the summer a lot of people have their own garage sales. So I think this is great. You need to stay active and communicating with your audience and educating them, even if the time, the season is not even relevant to what you do. But I think you need to somehow tie it in, and I think these two companies did a great job on that. And then also play to your strength. As a tax company, you know exactly what you're talking about. So take that and somehow, make a video of it, make an article of it, give steps on how to deal with things during tax season. And even if it's not that during tax season, take some information, like having a baby. That's something that you can put for your taxes. I mean, I had no idea about that, but researching this really gave me some more feedback and some more input into taxes, and quite frankly, it was educating. So definitely, as a boring company, take what you know and inform people. I think that's your strength, and you need to definitely take advantage of it. So these are my 5 posts if I were to share this presentation. It would be say goodbye to your boring brand. Check out these 6 content marketing strategies. 6 content marketing strategies for the boring brand. People not talking about your brand, it might be time to revamp your content strategy. Drab to Fab, 6 content strategies for the boring brand. Get people talking about your brand with this 6 content strategies. And that's it. Thank you.